welcome to the November edition of Feeding Our Faith. Today I've got with me Joe Rodriguez, who is our Director of Liturgy and Formation here at Holy Family. Many of y'all may have seen him either with some of the various ministries we got going on in Holy Family, or you may have seen him behind the scenes kind of rushing around and taking care of stuff that I forget. Joe makes me look good. And
which isn't difficult at all.
But today we're going to be not only making King Ranch Chicken Casserole, but we're also going to be talking about cultural Catholicism. Now, this is something which I know, Joe, you encounter a lot in liturgy, but I think both of us have encountered even over our time as Catholics. Our Catholic faith is something which is not just what you find in the book. It has cultural elements to it that really enrich it and deepen it and some of those things. But I mean, what have been some of your experiences with that?
Well, all the different cultures, the Hispanic culture, since we're making a Mexican dish here with the King Ranch Casserole, I'll talk about that a little.
Okay.
In Holy Family, folks have heard or been witness to quinceañeras on occasion. That's, when a girl reaches 15, it's sort of a rite of passage. Those kinds of things keep coming into Catholicism and get baptized and sort of enrich our lives.
Now, so far what I've done in this dish is I've taken a yellow onion and have diced it up fine and put 3 or 4 cloves of garlic that have been minced and put those in there and sauteed them until they were soft. And then I put a can of cream of chicken soup in there. And my next thing is I'm going to be putting also a little over half a block of Velveeta. We will also put in a can of Rotel, which are Rotel tomatoes and chilies. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of half and half to it to kind of make it a little bit creamy, and I will return it to the stovetop to start melting the cheese and everything together. I mean, not only with quinceañeras though, Joe, we'll see some cultural elements in Hispanic weddings too, don't we? We
do. There's the lazo and the aras. Again, a couple of things. A lazo is a double rosary that gets placed over the bride and groom to signify how they're brought together, in this sacrament. The aras are coins that are given to, the groom, I think, gets them first, and then he hands them to the bride as a symbol of his entrusting his financial means to her for her stewardship.
Okay. Do we only see this as such things as weddings and quinceañeras, or is it at all part of the devotional life of the Catholic Church, or do we see anything in there?
Sure. Oh, yeah. Devotion to Our Lady of Guadalupe is something that's very powerful in the Hispanic culture.
Our Lady of Perpetual Help, Our Lady of Czestochowa.
I think almost every nationality has a special way of showing devotion to Our Lady. You just mentioned several, but it's the same Blessed Mother that they are celebrating. So, there's that dimension of it that unites us as Catholics, but the expression that the cultures bring to it, I think, adds such a richness so that all of us can learn to appreciate something from another culture that can help us in our own spirituality and our own devotion.
Okay. Now, what I've been doing here is I've actually got about 6 or 7 corn tortillas, and you can use yellow corn or white corn, either of them work, and I've been cutting them into small strips like this. Now, you can also tear them into pieces, and that's fine too. We also have a couple of chicken breasts, boneless, skinless chicken breasts that we've cooked beforehand and shredded, and we're going to be combining all of these in with the mixture once it finishes melting. So once the entire mixture has become nice and melted, one of the next things we want to do is put in some of the chicken, as well as we want to put in these tortilla strips which we cut up, or like I said, if you tore them up, that works as well. Now once you've done that, we want to go ahead and return it to the heat just real quick. You can turn the heat down to medium, and then we will start to combine it all up until it gets nice and thick.
That's an interesting way of putting that together.
Okay. How does yours a little bit different?
I always just mix it in the dish that it's going to cook in,
okay.
But I've never done it this way, putting it all in the skillet. See, this is like learning from another culture.
And we're doing cultural Catholicism.
We are.
But cultural Catholicism is kind of a funny word.
It is. I mean, I think it came to us with the council when the bishops encouraged us to begin to appreciate other cultures, encourage the whole church to examine various cultures and see where the seeds of the gospel have already been planted in these various cultures, and learn more about how that can enrich the whole church.
So once you put it in a large baking dish such as this, you will want to go ahead and, here we go, sprinkle it with a little bit of mild cheddar cheese, which we kind of go over the top here. Now you can omit this, you don't have to put the cheddar cheese on top if you're kind of trying to watch things, but then why are you really watching things if you just put almost an entire block of Velveeta into a dish? So I think adding the cheddar cheese on top adds a little bit more to it and makes it taste
probably a crunchy top, huh?
It'll kind of brown on the top. All right, there we go. And then we will put that in the oven at 350 degrees until it is bubbling all the way throughout. Now, you're not real concerned about this being cooking for a long time because everything in here is pretty well already cooked. So you're just waiting for the tortillas to kind of soften up, for it all to combine, the cheese to melt, and to kind of begin to brown a little bit. So you'll put it in the oven at 350, and it'll take anywhere from about 25 to 35 minutes for it to be done. And so we hope that we will see you on November the 6th at our next Feeding Our Faith. And maybe you'll make this dish of King Ranch chicken. And perhaps you'll see Joe there as we're going to be talking a little bit about cultural Catholicism.